Hey friends, we're excited to connect with you this month. We have a lot to cover: Touchpoint updates, Summit updates, and we have a new leadership team position that we're excited to announce. This month, joining me is Andrew Triplett, who is head of consulting. Andrew, welcome. Glad you're here.
Hey, everybody. Yeah, appreciate it.
So you're in Memphis. Tell us a little about you and Jenny and life for you. Give us the skinny.
Yeah, so I help lead the consulting team here at Touchpoint. I am in Memphis, Tennessee, where I have lived for about 16 years. I'm a member over at Bellevue Baptist Church, which is where Touchpoint kind of got its start, which is pretty cool that I get to be part of that history on both sides of things. I'm married to my beautiful wife, Jenny. We just celebrated 15 years. She is a teacher at a school here in Memphis. I have two wonderful kids. My daughter, Elizabeth, is 11. My son, Luke, is 9. And so that's 6th and 3rd grade. I can't believe I have a 6th grader. That's crazy to me.
So you lead consulting. Tell us a little bit about how you serve our partner churches. What do you think, what are ways that are effective? If somebody hasn't worked with you, how would they stick their toe in the water? Tell us about a day in the life.
Yeah, so I think a lot of churches think of consulting as sort of being on the front end of the relationship with Touchpoint. When you're onboarding, you get consulting. So anyone that's watching this that's new to Touchpoint, you've probably met me or a member of our team in that context. But Touchpoint is also, consulting is also something that is great for church partners that have been using Touchpoint for some time. Actually, just last month, I was on site at a church that had been using Touchpoint for a very long time. And we spent a considerable amount of time talking about programs and divisions. Now, if you're familiar with Touchpoint, program and division, that's kind of one of the very rudimentary, very basic things about the system that you work on very early on. And this church, we kind of talked about it, and we said, hey, you know what? Maybe this structure that we've been working under isn't the best structure. So we brainstormed about some new ideas, and then we implemented those together. Just kind of worked through that, and I talked about best practices. And so consulting is hugely beneficial, not just to our new church partners, but to church partners that have been using the system for quite some time. We are also, of course, church partners can grab a handful of hours. They can kind of buy in bulk if they want to, a set of hours. But we also really, really love doing kind of a subscription type model where, hey, I only need about 3 hours this month, and then it's going to renew next month for another 3, and renew the month after that for another 3 hours, and so on, so that you always kind of have some more consulting hours coming your way, and you can stay fresh, stay up to date with what you need to know, keep key members of your staff up to date and up to speed with what they need to know about Touchpoint.
So Touchpoint's built for large churches. There's a lot to it. And so leaning on the expertise of your team is really helpful. I'm always amazed, even within our staff, that there are people who are experts in different areas. And I think everybody learns new things all the time. So I love hearing that. For those of you that joined us, I think it was the July version of this newsletter, we had Cody Binder, who's our head of product, join us. And we talked about the balance of innovation and performance and how both are always going to be important to us, but we're going to continue focusing on improving performance and reducing errors while still innovating, but finding a little bit more balance in between those things. With that said, we have spent months, if not quarters, doing QA on the most recent release, which has a lot in it. It's probably, I think, our biggest release of the year that came out just a couple weeks ago. How is that? What are you seeing in that, Andrew? Tell us a little about your perspective on that.
Yeah, so to say it was the biggest release of the year is maybe an understatement. It was a gigantic release. We're very proud of it. The team just did a phenomenal job of testing. When you talk about releasing a new registration feature, registration module, there's entire companies that all they do is registrations, and here we are. We're doing a lot of things in church management, and one of those includes registrations, and I really think the team just knocked it out of the park. That release also included some bug reduction, stability enhancements, so a lot of great things in that release. besides registration, but registration specifically, I can and very much have spent hours talking about registrations, but I'm going to give two headlines just real quickly. The two things that I think our church partners care the most about with this new registration. One, conditional logic. That might have been one of our most requested features in Touchpoint's history. So conditional logic is there. We heard you, we agree, and you got it. So that's into the registrations now. The second thing is the login process for people who are, as they're registering. We have streamlined that. So now people can log in just using their phone number, their cell phone number, because let's face it, not a lot of people know their username and password for their church. But now all they have to know is their cell phone number, get that 6-digit PIN code, get themselves logged in. And what that does is it expedites the registration process for the registrant. It also greatly reduces the number of potential duplicate records that are coming into your database. So it's an awesome enhancement. We're really excited about it, and I think churches are just going to love it.
So another piece of our releases as we do them, we obviously schedule them strategically in times when it has the least impact on churches. They usually or always include bug fixes, things that improve performance. And so it's not all about features, but this is a big one that we're excited about with new features with registrations coming. What are other things that our partner churches should be aware of?
So a couple things on the horizon. We are set for a wide release of Process Builder in the not too distant future. Testing has been ongoing for that for several months now. So that is coming very close to a release date. Also, for our church partners that are using the mobile app 2.0, if you haven't already, start making plans to get yourself moved over to 3.0. Not only is it just a phenomenal enhancement that you're going to love, churches should know that Android has changed some things that's going to end up limiting the reach of the 2.0 app for any Android users. So you definitely want to take a long look at 3.0 and getting yourself moved over to that sooner rather than later.
Awesome, Andrew. So speaking of apps, I just downloaded a Touchpoint Summit app today. So tell us about apps and Summit and what do we need to know on that front?
All right. So yes, the Touchpoint Summit app is live and it's called Touchpoint Engage. And here's the big draw on this now is that rather than being Summit specific, it is now intended for year-round use. So for those of you that are coming to Summit, it's going to be a great resource for you. But then even if you're not coming to Summit, go ahead and download it because there's going to be information in there, details in there to kind of stay up to date and in touch with us. As long as we're on the topic of Summit, I just want to talk about, the sessions. It is next week. We got some amazing sessions. The team has been hard at work on those, but not just our team, our church partners as well have just done an awesome job putting together really interesting perspectives on what their topics are. And I think everyone is really going to be blessed by the entire event. Also coming back to Summit this year is Tech Labs. So come see me. I'm going to be hanging out in the Tech Lab. Will Whitworth, our head of client success, is going to be there. We have the entire team at one point or another is going to be there. So if you've always wanted to talk to one of our developers and just kind of pick their brain about all things Touchpoint, come down to the Tech Lab and you'll have your chance. We also have some awesome ministry partners that are going to be there. I always encourage people to talk to those ministry partners. These are people who have ministries outside of Touchpoint and have awesome companies that serve the kingdom as well. And then the big draw of Summit in my mind is hands down, it's networking. It's getting to know other people who are using Touchpoint, who are at churches similar to yours and positions similar to yours. And so you can really kind of sharpen one another to use Touchpoint better and leave with all kinds of great ideas and things that you want to implement.
Awesome. So I have one more thing that I wanted to share today that I'm really excited about. We have a new position on our leadership team. It is our Director of Partner Church Success. So this is a senior leader at Touchpoint. It's a new position for us. And I'm really excited to welcome this week Ronnie DeLeon to our team. She's one of a kind. You're going to love her. She brings a unique experience that is a perfect fit for what we're looking for. Ronnie's background includes spending several years on leadership at a church, as well as she recently stepped away as president of a software company that serves churches to join Touchpoint's leadership team. So we're excited for you to meet Ronnie and get to know her. She will be at Summit, so keep your eye out for her, and we will warn her that a few hundred of her new best friends will be there too. So say hi to Ronnie when you have a chance to see her. We're grateful for our partnership with you. We love serving you, and we can't wait to be together with many of you next week. Thanks so much.
Bye, everybody.